Peace and blessings be upon you. Welcome to Ahle Aqal. Today we are going to explore a concept that many people have heard, but very few have truly paused to understand. That concept is called Bilghaib. Ordinarily, when people hear this word, their minds immediately travel somewhere far away. A hidden world after death, heaven, hell, unseen beings, mysteries beyond human reach. That is how Bilghaib is commonly understood. But let me ask you something that may disturb the way you think. What if the unseen is not merely something far away? What if the unseen world you have spent your life searching for has been operating within you this entire time? Think carefully. Can you physically see your thoughts? You know they exist. You are thinking right now. But can you actually see a thought? Can you hold anxiety in your hand? Can you remove fear and place it on a table? Can you photograph grief? Of course not. And yet nobody denies these things are real. So, immediately, we are forced to admit something profound. Reality is not limited to what physical eyes can see. And if that is true, then perhaps our understanding of Bilghaib has been far too shallow. Because what if the greatest unseen mystery is not somewhere beyond you, but already within you? Today, I invite you not merely to listen, but to reflect. Because this conversation is not about abstract theory. It is about your own lived experience, your thoughts, your fears, your suffering, your inner conflicts, your hidden world. And perhaps by the end of this conversation, you may begin to realize something deeply unsettling, that the unseen world you keep searching for may already be shaping every decision you make. Let us go deeper. If Bilghaib is not merely some distant, hidden world after death, then what is it? To answer that honestly, we must begin with something very simple: your own lived experience. Right now, thoughts are moving inside your mind. Memories can rise without warning. Fear can appear suddenly. Anxiety can tighten your chest. A painful memory can change your mood within seconds. And yet none of these things are physically visible. So let me ask you something. If something invisible can completely alter the way you think, feel, breathe, and behave, how can we say the unseen is irrelevant to human life? Perhaps Bilghaib is far more immediate than we have imagined. At Ahle Aqal, this is where the conversation becomes deeply personal, because Bilghaib is not merely about distant metaphysical speculation. It is about the unseen dimension of your immediate human experience, the hidden internal world that no one else can see, but which may be shaping your life every single day. Your thoughts, your fears, your interpretations, your emotional wounds, your inner dialogue, your hidden reactions, the world within you. And perhaps this is where the greatest misunderstanding begins, because many people spend their lives searching for hidden realities somewhere beyond themselves, while remaining complete strangers to the hidden world already operating within them. So before we search distant mysteries, perhaps the first unseen world we must understand is the one already living inside us. Let me make this undeniable. Imagine a man lying awake at 2 o'clock in the morning. The doors are locked. The room is silent. Nobody is attacking him. Nothing dangerous is physically happening. And yet, his heart is racing. His breathing is tight. His chest feels heavy. His thoughts are spiraling. Perhaps he is thinking about money. Perhaps his health. Perhaps his child. Perhaps a future disaster that has not even happened. Now stop and ask yourself something honestly. Where is that suffering happening? Is it in the room, or is it happening inside him? Because physically, the environment is calm, but internally, he is at war. And this is where human beings must become honest. If nothing dangerous is happening around you, but your body is behaving as though you are under attack, then your true battlefield is clearly not outside. It is within. This is why Bilghaib matters, because invisible realities are not weak. They are powerful enough to change your breathing, your emotions, your decisions, even your physical state. And perhaps the unseen world we have ignored for too long is the very world shaping our lives every single day. At Ahle Aqal, we often say something that sounds strange at first. Human beings do not truly live in houses. They live in their heads. Think about that carefully. We say we live in homes, cities, countries, buildings, addresses. But is that where your actual experience of life happens? Take two people sitting in exactly the same room, same furniture, same lighting, same silence, same environment, and yet one person feels peaceful, calm, grateful, emotionally stable. The other feels anxious, angry, resentful, emotionally collapsing. Same room, same environment, completely different realities. So where is life really happening? Outside or inside? Your body may be sitting in a physical space, but your real experience of life is being created within your unseen inner world. And perhaps this is one of the greatest human misunderstandings. People spend their lives trying to rearrange the outside world while remaining strangers to the world within. Because your real address may not be the house you live in, your real address may be the psychological world you carry inside you every single day. Let us go deeper. Think about anger. People usually notice anger when someone shouts, when the voice rises, when the explosion becomes visible. But let me ask you something. Did anger begin at that moment? Of course not. Long before the visible outburst, something was already happening. A thought entered, an interpretation formed, memory became involved, ego reacted, emotion intensified, internal dialogue began, meaning was created, and eventually behavior appeared. What people saw was the final expression. What they did not see was the invisible process that created it. The same is true for jealousy. Nobody sees jealousy being born. Nobody watches resentment being assembled. Nobody hears arrogance being quietly constructed. Nobody sees deception forming in silence. These things happen inside the unseen architecture of the human being, long before they become visible. And this should force us to think differently, because what people call behavior is often nothing more than the visible shadow of an invisible internal process. This hidden inner machinery, this silent architecture, is part of Bilghaib. Let me give you another example. A woman receives a message, just 4 words. We need to talk. That is all. Nothing more. No explanation, no detail, no accusation. And yet within seconds, her internal world begins moving. Did I do something wrong? Is this bad news? Is someone upset with me? What happened? Suddenly, her breathing changes. Her heart rate rises. Anxiety appears. Emotion shifts. But let us be honest. What actually happened? Only 4 words appeared on a screen. That is all. The suffering was not inside the message. The suffering was created inside interpretation, inside imagination, inside unseen internal meaning. And this is one of the most important things a human being can understand, because many times people are not suffering from reality itself. They are suffering from the invisible meanings they have attached to reality. And if invisible interpretation can create real emotional pain, then how can anyone say the unseen is not powerful? This hidden world of internal meaning, this silent psychological machinery, is part of Bilghaib. Now let us go even deeper. One of the biggest human assumptions is this: if I can see it, it is real. If I can hear it, it must be true. If my senses report it, I can trust it. But can you? Stand in a desert. Your eyes may show you water where no water exists. Look at the horizon. Your eyes insist that earth and sky are touching. Put on a virtual reality headset. Your body reacts to danger that is not physically there. Your heart races. Your breathing changes. Your muscles tense. even though the threat is artificial. Or imagine hearing two people whispering behind a closed door. Immediately, your mind creates a story. They are talking about me. There must be a problem. Later, you discover the conversation had nothing to do with you. So what happened? The senses delivered incomplete information. The mind created meaning. Emotion responded. Suffering became real, even though the interpretation was false. So let me ask you something uncomfortable. If your senses can deceive you, then what exactly have you been calling reality? Perhaps what we call reality is often interpretation wearing the mask of certainty. And if that is true, then perhaps Bilghaib is not distant mystery. Perhaps it is the unseen world of interpretation already shaping human life. At Ahle Aqal, this is where the conversation becomes even deeper. Because if there is an unseen internal world shaping human life, then an important question emerges. How do we investigate it? Physical eyes can only observe surfaces. They can see faces, buildings, objects, external movement. But physical eyesight cannot see hidden motives. It cannot see emotional wounds. It cannot see interpretation being formed. It cannot see fear being constructed inside the human being. And this is where Ahle Aqal introduces an important concept, basira. Basira means your insight, your deeper inner seeing, your inner eye, because there are realities physical eyes cannot access. A smile may be visible, but pain may be hidden behind it. Success may be visible, but fear may be hidden beneath it. Behavior may be visible, but the unseen machinery producing that behavior remains hidden. Basira allows a human being to look deeper. And alongside this is another profound concept, Al-Kitab. At Ahle Aqal, Al-Kitab is not merely understood as a physical book sitting on a shelf. It is your inner script, your embedded internal guidance architecture, the deeper blueprint already within you. And if such an inner script exists, then perhaps Bilghaib is not merely hidden mystery, but the unseen internal reality through which your entire life is being interpreted and experienced. Without Basira, a human being keeps looking outward. With Basira, the journey begins inward, and perhaps the greatest unseen discovery is not finding something outside yourself, but finally learning how to see what has always been operating within you. Let me give you a simple example. Think about a television. You see the screen, movement, color, images, sound. From the outside, everything appears clear, but the actual mechanism making all of that happen remains hidden. You do not see the circuitry. You do not see the operating system. You do not see the internal processing. You only see the display. Human beings are remarkably similar. What people see externally is often only the display. A smile, an argument, confidence, withdrawal, kindness, anger, silence, reaction, behavior. But what they do not see is the hidden machinery producing those expressions. Thought patterns, fear, memory, conditioning, emotional wounds, desire, inner dialogue, hidden motives, interpretation, conscience, imagination. This unseen machinery is continuously processing reality, and yet most people spend their lives staring at the display without ever investigating the operating system. And perhaps this is why human beings so often misunderstand themselves, because what appears externally is not always the origin. It is often only the expression. The real movement began somewhere deeper, inside the unseen internal architecture. And perhaps Bilghaib is not some distant mystery at all. Perhaps Bilghaib is the hidden operating system already shaping your life every single day. Life itself keeps teaching us the same principle, but human beings rarely pause to notice it. Take a seed. From the outside, it looks small, insignificant, silent, almost lifeless, and yet hidden within that tiny form is the architecture of a tree that may grow over 100 feet tall. Now think about an egg. From the outside, it appears fragile and ordinary, but inside, life is already forming in hidden existence. And something very important happens here. If force is applied from the outside, destruction happens. But if transformation emerges from within, life unfolds naturally. Now think about every human being. Every one of us entered this world from hidden existence inside the womb. Before we were visible, we were already forming invisibly. So let me ask you something. Why does life repeatedly show us that what becomes visible often begins invisibly? Yet we struggle to accept the same truth within ourselves. Your emotions begin invisibly. Your interpretations begin invisibly. Fear begins invisibly. Hope begins invisibly. Transformation begins invisibly. Even suffering often begins invisibly. Life has always been teaching us this, that the unseen is not strange. The unseen is foundational, and perhaps Bilghaib is not some distant hidden mystery. Perhaps it is the invisible origin from which visible human experience continuously emerges. And perhaps this brings us to one of the greatest human tragedies. People spend their lives searching outside for peace, outside for answers, outside for enemies, outside for validation, outside for meaning, outside for hidden powers, outside for salvation, outside for happiness, outside for completion. And yet very few stop to investigate the unseen world already operating within them. Think honestly, how much of your life has been spent trying to rearrange the outside world, while the machinery shaping your suffering remained untouched? If your anger is always someone else's fault, you never investigate the fire within. If your fear is always caused by the world, you never examine the hidden interpretation producing it. If your peace depends entirely on external conditions, then perhaps you have become a prisoner of what lies outside you. And this is deeply unsettling because the greatest prison is not always made of walls. Sometimes it is made of thoughts you never questioned, interpretations you inherited, fears you normalized, stories your mind repeated until they felt like truth. And perhaps this is why so many human beings remain restless, because they master the outer world while remaining complete strangers to the inner one. The greatest human tragedy is this: we become experts in managing appearances while remaining illiterate about the hidden world actually shaping our lives. So, let us return to the question we began with. What is Bilghaib? Is it merely some distant hidden world after death? Or have we misunderstood the unseen entirely? Because if thoughts you cannot see can steal your sleep, if fear you cannot touch can tighten your chest, if invisible interpretation can create real suffering, if hidden internal meaning can control your emotions, then how can we honestly claim that the unseen is something distant and irrelevant? Perhaps the most powerful unseen world is not waiting after death. Perhaps it has been active within you all along. Think about that carefully. People spend their lives searching for hidden mysteries beyond themselves, while remaining completely blind to the hidden world already governing every thought, fear, breath, and decision within them. And perhaps that is the most disturbing possibility of all, that the unseen world you keep searching for may be the very world that has been shaping your life your entire time. So perhaps the real question is not, does the unseen exist? The real question is, why have we spent so little time investigating the unseen world already shaping our lives? Because maybe the greatest mystery is not somewhere beyond the stars. Maybe the greatest mystery is not hidden behind death. Maybe the greatest mystery is much closer, inside your thoughts, inside your fears, inside your hidden interpretations, inside the world no one else can see. And perhaps the greatest unseen world, the true Bilghaib, has been within you all along. Peace and blessings be upon you. This is Ahle Aqal. If this video has made you pause, if it has challenged the way you see reality, if it has opened even a small question within you, then perhaps the journey has already begun. Because real transformation begins the moment a human being starts questioning what they have always assumed to be true. If you value this kind of deep thought-provoking content, then do not let this conversation end here. Please like this video, subscribe to our channel, and share this message with those who are ready to think beyond the surface. Join Ahle Aqal on YouTube, TikTok, and WhatsApp, where we continue exploring the hidden architecture of the human being. For deeper written reflections, powerful blogs, and more thought-provoking insights, visit www.ahleaqal.com. And if you genuinely value this independent work and would like to help us continue creating content like this, you can support us through Buy Me a Coffee or the PayPal link in our bio. Your support helps keep this journey alive. Until next time, peace and blessings be upon you. This is Ahle Aqal.